What's up, YouTube? Today I'm back with another video. Thank you guys for tuning in today. I pray you guys are having an amazing day. Tonight for dinner I'm going to be preparing um, neck bones. I'm going to cut up some potatoes in the midst of it. I'm going to be preparing a pot of rice. I don't know, you guys probably say potatoes and rice. Yes, that's how we do in the country. So a pot of neck bones and potatoes, and a pot of rice, and I'm going to do some type of vegetable. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to prepare some type of vegetable with it. So you guys just stay tuned in, and I'll take you along with me. So at this point now, what we're going to do is season our neck bones. I have washed my neck bones really good. I've actually soaked them in cold water with a little vinegar in it and a little salt. So I let them soak for about 30 minutes just to help clean it a little better. And at this point here, I'm going to season my neck bones. So I'm going to show you guys how to season it and what seasonings I use. Now, if you decide to make this dish, just know that you use the seasonings that you like. I'm using what I like to use. So if you choose to use what I use, that's fine. But like I say, make it taste to the point that you want it to taste like, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. So okay, my first step, I'm going to, let's see, I have a little bit of Worcestershire sauce here. I'm going to take this and just dash a little bit on it. And this really helps flavor your food. It marinates it in a little tender. So that's enough there. I'm going to put a little bit of that on there. I'm going to add in, I have some onion powder here. Put a little of that on it. And you want to season these neck bones really good. Onion powder. And then I have a little garlic powder. You know, we gotta have that garlic powder. It's a good flavor to your food. So garlic powder here. Make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. So we have garlic powder, we have onion powder, I'm going to put a little black pepper in here. Let's put a little black pepper. And a little of that Worcestershire sauce really seasons your food really good. It gives it a good flavor. I like it. I think my family does too. Let's see what other seasonings I have. I'm going to put just a little bit of accent in here. This just enhances the flavor of the food. Not much. Okay. And let's see what else I could put in here. You just use your own seasonings that you like, guys. So I don't want any complete seasoning today, so I'm just going to put in a little. I have some seasoned all salt here. I'm going to sprinkle a little of that in here. You want to season your food really good so it'll have good taste to it. So more of that. Okay. And I want to put a little mixed garlic in here. Let me get it out of my refrigerator. A little bit of mixed garlic. Okay. Let's take our minced garlic. Shake it right in there. Don't take much of this. Okay. And let's see. Something else I want to put in here. I think I got some lips and onion soup. I want to put a pack of that in here. I don't think I have any open. You know, people use different things, but I'm going to put a pack of this in here. This is actually onion mushroom. I'll put a pack of that in here. I like my food, like I said, well flavored. And I didn't used to cook with all these seasonings, you know. I used to cook with the salt, pepper, a little bit of this, you know. But as I grew, as I cooked more, and started experiencing a little more, then I started using a little more flavor. Oh, we like that, so we try that. So we're gonna put this in there. I could have waited and put this in with my potatoes, but I'm just gonna go ahead and open it all the way up and use this whole pack, entire pack. Okay, and I think that's it. Now I do have a little. This is pork, but I want to put just a little bit of this. I want to use just maybe a teaspoon of this here. Just more flavor. That's all that is. More flavor. What I do with my spoon, you guys? I think I put it in the sink. And I don't want to put much. Just maybe a spoonful in here. Just a little bit. So I'm just gonna put just sprinkle that in there. Because it will be too salty if you add too much. But you know I'm gonna cut up some potatoes, and that's gonna soak up a lot of that seasoning. So at this point here, let me add the water in here. We're gonna cover the neck bones with water. So let me run some water on this. Let's run the water on it. All that good flavor in there. Good eating. Good country eating. Don't know about them neck bone with potatoes. Tell me what you know about it. I know we love them here in this household. In the way that I prepare them. Okay. So we have this. Let me wipe my stove off. I don't sprinkle all that seasoning all over my stove everywhere. So just get this cleaned off a little bit. Okay, I'm going to turn my stove on medium. Well, actually, I want to turn it on 6, just so that way it can go ahead and get a good boil on it. And then I'm going to turn it down. And when I come back, I'm going to add an onion and a bell pepper on this. Just more seasoning, y'all. You have to season your food really good. So this is on the 6. I'm put the lid on this and let this start for let it cook for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then start getting a little boil on it. And I can add my onions and my bell peppers. So when I get ready to add the onions and bell peppers, I bring you guys back. Okay, you guys, and we're back. So now you see that my pot is boiling. I have my onion and bell pepper here. I'm getting ready to put that in. Just take that off. So we're going to add in, and I know you guys can smell this through the phone. I promise you it smells good. My God. Ooh-wee. I could leave it like it is and don't add no onions, nothing else to it. And it'll turn out good. Just let it get good and tender. But I'm going to do that. So let's add in our onions and our peppers. And I splash it in here. It's okay. We're going to add that in there. Just cook down. Okay, so like I said earlier, I turned it on 6 just so it can start cooking good. So now that it came to a boil, I'm going to turn it down and let it cook on a medium. And then when I bring you guys back, I'll be ready to put in my potatoes. And what I'm going to do in the meantime, because when I bring you guys back, what I'm going to have to do is before I put the potatoes in, I know I'm going to have to add water because this is going to cook down a lot. So what I'll do is I'll add in me a little flour water, where I'll add me in a little can of cream of chicken, and I'm going to mix just a little, mix it in with some flour water, just mix it up real good. And I'm gonna show you guys how to do that, and just let that sit to the side. That way the flour can be, you know, soaking up in it while it's cooking this. And I'm gonna cut up my potatoes. I'm gonna mix up some flour water with a little can of cream of mushroom. Just 1 can of cream of mushroom in it. I think I have cream of mushroom. Okay, so let's got that mixed up good. I think I got a can of cream of mushroom. I know I got cream of chicken. I ain't got nothing else. I got cream of chicken. I may not have no cream of mushroom, but I'm gonna use what we have. And that's just as good. So I think what I'm gonna do is open up this can of cream of chicken and mix it in with a little flour water. And just let it sit there till I get ready to pour it in here with the. Okay, you guys, and I'm back. So at this point, we're letting the neck bones are still cooking. Like I said, they're seasoned very well. So what I wanted to show you guys while I was off camera, let me show you what I did. And this right here is where I mixed. This is a can of cream of mushroom. I'm sorry, cream of chicken, water, and flour. So this is the thickening agent that I'm going to use to thicken up on this here. I'm not ready to put it in yet, but when I get ready to put it in, I'll bring you back and I'll show you. I'll put this in right before I put my potatoes in. This is like I said, I have it set to the side. That way the flour will have time to dissolve in it. So that's what it's doing now. And I have my potatoes cut up here. And I'm setting the water until I get ready to pour them in. Let's test our neck bones to see how tender they're getting. And they still got a little while to cook. So in the meantime, I told you guys I didn't know what type of vegetables I was going to fix. And I think, yeah, it's got a minute to cook. I'm going to cover this back up and let this finish cooking so, you know, getting tender. Over here in this pot here, I have some fat back meat. I'm going to let that fry out. Make me a little grease. And then I don't have any frozen green beans. This is what I'm going to cook here. I'm going to pour the juice off of this. It's seasoned, so I don't really want all that seasoning. I want to put my own seasoning on it. So I am going to take this juice off, and I'm going to put just a little bit of chicken broth in the pot. So I'll show you when I get ready to do that. Right now, I have this on the medium. I'm going to let this fat back meat. It's just going to make a little grease for me. I don't have any bacon or anything, so I'm going to use this. The only thing I did was washed it off, and I cut it in half. That's all I did. So we're going to let that fry up a little bit, make a little grease on it. And the next thing I have to do is cook me a pot of rice, but I'm going to cook that in my rice cooker. And I'm also going to be making some Jiffy cornbread with this. So let me go ahead and turn my oven on the 350. And I'll mix up me some cornbread and put it in the oven while this is cooking. So I'll bring you guys back when I get ready to pour in the cream of chicken mixture. I'll bring you back. Okay, you guys, when I'm back. So right at this point here, my fat back is cooking. So I'm gonna stop frying it. I'm gonna show you the grease that it's made. See if you can see that. So it made a little grease off. That's some pretty fat back. I think what I'm gonna do is just leave that in there. So that way, just to season my string beans. And I have washed my green beans. I rinsed them out really good. So at this point, what I'm going to do now is pour that in there. And I have a little chicken broth here. I'm going to pour this in. That may be enough, I'm not sure. Like I said, I washed all the seasoning that was in the can off of that. I'm gonna put my own seasoning on this, which is just a little salt, pepper, and salt and pepper. A little pepper in there. Put your little salt. And put your little now I can use my complete seasoning on this. A little bit of complete seasoning, not much. And I think I'm gonna put a little onion powder on here. Some people do cut up onions and put in there, but I don't know onions in mine. I'm just gonna put a little onion powder in. I'm gonna let this slow cook, let it tender up. Let's see, put this back. And we're gonna let this cook slow inside of this chicken broth. I think that should be enough chicken broth in there. We got our fat back meat grease and we got our fat back chunks in there. That's my oven beeping for my cornbread. So let me finish mixing up my cornbread and I'll bring you guys back. Okay, you guys, so I'm back. So over here I have a box of Jiffy cornbread mix. I've added a little sugar in here, and let me do this. This is my dish that I'm going to be putting it in, but I want to melt me just a little bit of butter in there in the hot oven. Give me a little piece of butter. Ooh, pepper. Excuse me. Make this every time. So this is my pan I'm going to be using. I'm going to cut just a couple of tablespoons of butter. I'm going to put it in here. And I'm going to stick it in my oven so it'll melt right quick. Just do that. Stick it in just for a second, and then I'm going to, when I get ready, and let that melt. When I get ready to pour my cornbread in, the thing already hot, so. So I have, like I said, I have an egg in here. I have a box of Jiffy cornbread mix. I have 1 egg and some sugar. And I'm going to mix in my milk. Start out with a little bit. I don't measure it, I just mix it a little bit at a time until I can get it to the consistency that I like it. So, but you can follow the directions on the box, whichever one is easier for you. Mix that up. I think that might be enough. When you cook for a while, you can about know how much to put in there. And it's just a little bit more though. Y'all, I'm doing exactly what I love to do, which is cook for my family and myself. Since this is all I do is take care of my house, take care of my family while they're out working. Since I don't work, this is the least I can do. Make sure I have them covered and pray over them and all that good stuff. When you cook like this, you cook with love. I take out time to pray over my food. I please the blood of Jesus over it. I'm telling you, you have to do that nowadays because you just don't never know what you're getting. So many recalls on different things. You have to learn how to pray over your food. When you buy it out the grocery store, pray over your food and plead the blood of Jesus over it. I do it all the time, even while I'm cooking. And I ask God to remove all the impurities out of this food because you don't never know what you're eating. That's why you have to pray. Prayer does work. Okay, let's see if the butter melted, y'all. Not quite. So let me get that container to pour that milk in. Okay, so this must be a new bowl. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I didn't use all this, so I'm gonna save this, you know, until I get ready to cook and use it again. So these little bowls come in handy. Take this, put it in the refrigerator. Next time I get ready to cook, if I need it, which won't be long, set it in the refrigerator. Let's give that butter time to melt. Oh, okay. Clean up as you go. Clean up as you go. So let's check and see if, yeah, that's good enough. Maybe a couple more. In the meantime, I'm been stirring this and getting all the lumps out of it. See what I'm doing. Okay, so our green beans are cooking good. That little bit of that broth that I put in there was just enough, so just gonna have that on 4, like a low medium. Smell good. It tastes like they smell, then it's gonna be good. Okay, let's go ahead and do this cornbread and get it out of the way. Oop, I want to burn myself. Pour this little butter in here, and I'll stir it in and finish melting. Finish melting. Set this on here because I don't want to set it on nothing. When you bring something like this hot out of the stove, you cannot set it on nothing wet because it will bust. I did it before. It will crack and shatter everywhere. Okay, so we have our butter in, we have our egg, we have our milk, and the cornbread mix. So all I'm about to do now is put this cornbread in the oven, see how tender the neck bones are, and then I'm going to add in, well, you know what, you guys can just stay right there because let me put this in the oven, and then I add in my cream up chicken mix in with my neck bones. It got dark on me, y'all. Get all that goodness in there. Okay, let's stick our cornbread in the oven. We're gonna let it cook. See how long it takes to cook. Let's start with 15 minutes. See how that does. Okay. So So in the meantime, we're going to add in it tendering right on up, y'all. It smells so good. It's going to thicken up. So we're going to go ahead and pour this in. Like I said, this is a can of cream of chicken, water, and flour. And the only reason I did that flour in here is because I want this to kind of thicken up. So we're just going to pour this in. And let this cook. I'm gonna let this cook for a few more minutes, and then I'll come back and I'll add in my potatoes, and I'll bring you guys back when I get ready to do that part. Let me stir this up here. Now you can taste the juice on this to see if you need to, maybe if it's too salty, you can always pour some juice off of it and add you some hot water. You always add hot on hot and cold on cold. Is what I was always taught. So I'm gonna let this cook. It's gonna thicken up. I'll taste a little bit of that juice off of there. That's got a good flavor to it. Oh my goodness. It don't need nothing else. But you know what I may do? Because the potatoes is going to suck up a lot of that, a lot of this seasoning in here. So what I may do is pour this water off of the potatoes and maybe just sprinkle just a little salt on them. Just that way it won't be so bland. That's what I think I'll do. So I'll bring you guys back when I get ready to put my potatoes in on this. Okay, you guys, and we're back. So at this point, I'm getting ready to add my potatoes in this here. So the only thing I did was I poured the water off of the potatoes, and I added just a little bit of this on here, just so to have flavor to it, because sometimes you can cook the potatoes just to make sure it's got a little flavor on it. So that's all I did, and I tossed it around in my bowl with some of that seasoning on it. So let's add the potatoes in here. You can see how this is thickening up. It's gonna have a little gravy on it, so when you get ready to put on your rice, it's not really like runny. So let's add our potatoes, y'all. Without making a mess. Let me get me a bigger spoon. And by the time these potatoes get done, the neck bones will be nice and tender. Don't that look good, y'all? And this gravy will finish thickening up. I may need to remove some of this juice off of it. I have just a little too much of. Let's see how it looks in a little bit. If we need to remove some of it, then we will. In the meantime, I'm gonna let it stay there. That way, the potatoes can be, merged down in it, and they can cook. So let's see how the juice looks in a few minutes, and if we need to remove something, you can remove it. Okay. And I have my rice cooking. I just put that on. I have my cornbread in the oven. So I'll bring you guys back in just a little bit. And the string beans are almost done. Okay, you guys, and so right now I'm getting ready to take my cornbread out the oven. Turn it off. And this is what it looks like. Doesn't that look good? I'm trying to show you guys a good picture of it. Now at this point with this cornbread, the way this cornbread is set up, you can cut you a slice of it and pour you a little bit of honey on it, and I'm telling you, that would be something good. And I have butter in it already, or I could just, rub a little bit. Let me rub a little butter on top of that. So, but that would be good with some honey. it's sticky. Just rub it on top while it's still hot. Although we do have butter on the inside of it. You know, butter, the other butter is just awesome. Butter make everything good, y'all. I call it the other butter. And the way you could tell that it's done, so I ended up doing a total of 20 minutes on this cornbread. Stick your toothpick or something down in there, and it should come out clean like this. That way you know it's done. Turn this off. Okay, so when this finished, I'm going to remove some of this juice off of here, y'all, because it's a lot. I want to take a lot of that juice off, remove some of it off, so it won't be so much. And then when I get ready to plate everything, I'll bring you guys back. Okay, and I just want to bring you guys back to show you that I did remove some of that juice off of there. That's a nice amount of juice that I have left in there. Get your potatoes in there. They're almost done cooking. I removed a bowl full of the juice off of there. I'll leave this that's left in there on there. I probably could remove another cup of juice, and I probably will. And then I'll let it finish cooking. And that's gonna be good over that rice, them string beans, and that cornbread over there. Okay, and I just wanted to show you this, guys, before I plate my food. Now, you don't have to wait till the potatoes are completely done, because I have turned this pot off, and the potatoes will continue to cook while I have my rice steaming. I'm going to turn this off, and the potatoes will continue to cook in there. That way you don't have it won't fall all apart and be mushy. So I've turned it off, and I'm going to let them continue cooking while the rice is steaming. Then I'll bring you guys back and I'll plate everything. Okay, you guys, this is the finished product. You have the rice. You see the potatoes. They're good and tender. You see the bell pepper in there. You have that neckbones that's very tender, seasoned well. You have your green beans over there, got good seasoning on it. And you have that pretty cornbread there. So I'll talk with you guys later. It's time to eat. See you on the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.